So I'm here at the Bellagio to go over several points that Vegas locals will never let you know about what it's really like to live in the heat in Las Vegas. We're going to talk about some weird stuff and how you're going to change your life if you end up living in this climate. We have a secret weapon, which is in this box that was sent to me that you could also get your hands on if it works out okay for me. Maybe you want to buy one too. So this is secrets that Vegas locals will never tell you about the heat as we explore the Las Vegas Strip as the temperature is rising here in town. Are you ready for this? Let's go. So I can't believe I'm actually doing this on the dog part of the Bellagio. So hopefully I don't get dog waste all over me. Let's go open this box up. You gotta love all these plants over here. Although I don't think I'm really supposed to be this far back in. All right, let's look at the roses. Man, those are nice desert roses. Okay, well, here is the so-called secret weapon. This is the AICE LITE. This is the second year they've actually sent me the AICE series. The AICE LITE is a $200 item that you can buy on their official website. I'll provide you a link. I do get some credit if you buy through that link, but this is not a paid for sponsored video. Here's a quick unboxing of everything that you get in the box. And it's so straightforward. Last year's was a little more complicated. I actually appreciate the straightforwardness. Inside the box, we have nothing more than a quick start guide showing you all the different cool stuff. You're gonna want to download the app when you actually set this up because you can control it all from your phone. And we have an accessory box that only has a USB-C, A to C. I wish that they would have actually included C to C, but I understand that makes the inside electronics cost a little more to be able to use the C to charge. This one here, this is an old connector, but still is a nice thick connector. And then we have, of course, the item itself. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool when you look at it. It's heavy. That's another thing. And you know, this is one of the best coolers I've ever used. It has a semiconductor on the back, lowers the temperature by 31 degrees Fahrenheit, 17 degrees Celsius, as soon as you fire it up within a few seconds. And this has a 3D surround airflow. You can see that it actually will encompass your entire neck and blow right at your head, the part you want to cool down. And it actually has a very good battery life too. This will stay on standby for 24 hours straight without having any issues. So let's try this on. Okay, so getting this to be turned on is quite simple. You just literally press the button once. That's not normal. You usually have to hold the buttons down. And immediately it's on cooling mode number 3. You stick it on your neck and then you're good to go. So we're gonna go test this out and again, give you those secrets. That's nice and cold, by the way. And we're gonna review this as we go in between our secrets that Vegas locals never tell you. So I don't want to alarm you, but I started walking towards the fountains and then I realized I'm lost. So we better get back out to where all these tourists are coming from. Okay, so one thing that Vegas locals or real Vegas veterans do know is that you don't really go outside in the middle of the afternoon in this city. As a matter of fact, you're coming here on vacation, you're best not to come in the summertime if you could all not come in the summertime. Your best months to come here are like April, May, that kind of thing. These people are here at the right time, but once we move on into the later parts of the year, it just gets so darn hot. 110, 114, but there's a weird thing about that, which you don't expect. And it's something, even after 20 years, I just learned about yesterday. So let's talk about the cool effect and why it trips my mind out a little bit. Yeah, so most locals, we just wait until the sun goes down to go outside in the wintertime, which means that you may be adjusting your schedule a little bit. Yeah, it's actually still hot at night, as hot as 92, 95. I've seen it as a low daytime temperature, like 100 degrees at night. And that's because of a weird effect where the strip and the city heat up progressively when we're in a hot spell. So if we're in a hot spell, I mean, you really can't plan your vacation unless you have the time to just on a whim come into town. If we're on a hot spell, you double down want to go out at night because it's only going to get hotter every single day. And it's just a weird effect that you get living in the valley. So locals won't go out usually until after dark to do anything. We have our barbecues at 7, 8 o'clock at night, and we have people over a little bit later. And if we're super rich, which I personally am not, we have those mister devices in the backyards, and you can pick them up cheaper on Amazon too. You hook up your garden hose and you spray the mist all over the place. It is what it is, life in the desert. But the next thing about where it's the hottest part in the valley doesn't serve you very well. Let's talk about that. So let's get back to this. This has AI built into it. Of course, because why not? Everything has AI, right? But unlike AI that just, is a parlor trick or helps you figure out a recipe, this AI actually adjusts to the heat around you, and it keeps your body at consistent temperature, whatever you set it in the app. By the way, it's so loud out here. I mean, it just 100% loud all the time in front of the Bellagio, but it's the one place in Vegas where you're gonna see the most interesting stuff. Interesting stuff indeed. This really is the meeting place and the one spot where everybody wants to come in Vegas, including 3 more fake monks. I'm gonna have to do a video about this, so be sure to subscribe to the channel so we can know that these monks are what they're really up to. It'll blow your mind. Subscribe for that. So there's one place in the valley where locals would be smart to avoid, and they avoid it anyways. That's mostly the Strip. It's not that we don't have love for the Strip, it's just that we see it so often. We come down with our family and our friends. But this is the worst spot if you don't like the heat. Matter of fact, the 5 miles of Las Vegas Strip, Las Vegas Boulevard, and downtown Fremont Street, it gets the hottest out of the entire valley. This is simply because there's so many giant structures, they hold in the heat. And then at night, they don't really let it go. Yeah, so they get heated up by the sun, they radiate it back to you, which makes the Las Vegas Strip the hottest part of the valley. So when you're coming here, you're gonna be hit with temperatures a lot hotter than if you just go west and go up on a grade a few hundred feet where it can cool down as much as 10 degrees. So I remember the first time that I was ever doing a live stream in this type of weather. It was actually a few degrees warmer. And before I knew it, I started getting warnings on my phone. And before long, my live stream went bye-bye. It disappeared. And that's right, most devices don't survive the heat in the valley. Phones like iPhones, the screen dims. It's a preventative thing that Apple does on the device. Android phones, you can force the screen to stay nice and bright, but at the same time, what Android does is shuts down your Wi-Fi, then your antenna for 5G, and then your screen, and then your phone entirely. So technology does not last out here in the heat. It makes filming things tremendously hard. I'm filming this on a Pocket 3, DJI Pocket 3 right now, and I'm surprised it's even held up this long. It is hot out here, and your technology doesn't work. And if you drive a car, yeah, you're screwed a little bit more. We'll get to that in just a minute. So one thing that is cool about this is that you can charge and use it at the same time, which means it has long-term durability. I have very expensive lights that I purchased where you can't even do that. So the fact they put that in is a good thing. The noise is pretty good too. It's not as loud as some of these that I've heard. And the fact that its companion app works really, really well too, for what it's worth. Yeah, it makes it a winner chicken dinner for me. But what about cars in the valley? Yeah, cars in the valley are a challenge as well. If you come out here, you better buy the warranty for the battery. I think it's built in nowadays. You go to AutoZone, and I have never had a car battery that lasted the entire length of what the warranty should last. They always seem to dry up, and they always seem to get destroyed. Tires break down faster. Car paint peels out here if you don't park your car in the garage. And that's just owing to the fact that it is so hot on a surface temperature out here. As a matter of fact, I have a temperature gun that I'm going to start bringing out, and I'm going to show you guys how that all works. So you guys will stay tuned for a video where I take this temperature gun and show you how hot it really gets in the middle of the summer. Subscribe for that. So in a minute, we're just going to get to another weird quirk about how you manage to survive out here involving water, and a secret hack for everybody who thinks their car is hot when it's really not. I get it when the temp goes up to the mid 80s like Eminem once said, but our cars go up to 150 degrees Fahrenheit inside. I do want to talk about this a little bit. Like, why would somebody buy something like this? Well, you might buy one of these things at a Walmart. They're 20 bucks. They suck. Trust me. We've tried everything out here before these companies started sending them off to us. And in this case, let's say you're working in a hot place. You work at a manufacturing facility, or you have a roommate situation, or a loved one who needs the temperature set a certain way. This will keep you cool, and it'll also keep you warmer. Or you're one of these poor guys that has to wear these costumes out here. Maybe you want to wear one of these too. So it's very versatile. They have lots of use case scenarios. I know I used this same item after they sent it to me at my office because we have a problem with thermostats not controlling my office. So as you know, cars get hot when you get out into the sun. But cars in Vegas, they get incredibly hot. So one secret that locals know, and what locals probably don't tell you, is that they're smart to freeze bottles of water for when they go on any trek. And some people like us even go so far as to having a small cooler inside of their car so they can get ice and travel with it. And you might be thinking that's ridiculous, right? Because you're only going to the store and running your errands. But the truth is, I have used that same temperature gun that I'll make another video on this year, and the cars get up to 165, 185 degrees Fahrenheit inside. It doesn't matter how cold your water is when you start, it is warm after about an hour. So freeze bottles of water, stick them in your car. I recommend you do the same thing if you're coming to Vegas. Freeze bottles of water if you have a fridge in your room, and then carry them around as blocks of ice. Because honestly, you're always gonna wanna bring a bag like I'm wearing right now, and you're always gonna wanna have a bottle of water with you. So we have a thing in life called contact burns. I don't think you know this, but did you know your skin can be burned pretty much instantly by just stepping on the ground or touching something that is hot? When we get to that video with the temperature gun, I can hold on to this railing today, but I wouldn't want to do it in about a month's time. So your shoes and different items of clothing will be either washed all the time, melting to the ground, or discarded and replaced. I've gone through so many pairs of Skechers because they're my favorite types of shoes, because the bottom tread just disappears, and suddenly I have something that'll help me go hydroplaning in the rain instead of actually keeping myself safe. So your shoes will melt if they're the wrong type of bottom, and that's not a problem with the shoe. It's just a side effect of what it's really like to live out here in the desert. This is Old Red. I'm surprised that there is not a massive lineup here, because we have come down here with friends on a Wednesday, on a Thursday, and seen a 45-minute line. People are just into Vegas for the food, no matter what day of the week. So, you know, cool place. Check out Old Red. We'll do a review on it soon, so subscribe for that. Another thing I want you to be clearly aware of is the scam that is Gatorade. I mean, it is the biggest scam you can find out there. Gatorade doesn't do anything to really replenish your electrolytes, although people think it does. And if anything, some of the Gatorade out there has like caffeine in it. They make a caffeinated water. I don't know why that exists. No, here's what you have to do. The escalators work. I'm really impressed. If you want to actually replenish electrolytes, you have to get Morton's Light Salt. Morton's Light Salt has potassium and sodium, which are two very important key electrolytes. You could also take some magnesium too, but just be really, really aware. If you add Morton's Light Salt to a drink, make sure the drink doesn't have caffeine, and if it is Gatorade, only add, or a half a teaspoon that is, at a time, because too much potassium can make you sick. And this is not medical advice, so be sure to check with your doctor to make sure that that is something that you should do. But that's the best way that I've ever found to quickly replace actual electrolytes, not be scammed by buying a bunch of Gatorade that you're not really going to use. So I sure do want to film some more comments here, but let's wait until we get across. Listen to how loud it is out here. Drummers and guitarists and everything. Vegas is really cool though. If you want to see the circus that is the Strip, now's a good time to come. How does this work? Let's sum it all up, because I think you want to know whether or not you should get one and if I would recommend it to you. So there is one last thing that you probably don't know that all people in Vegas who are locals know, and we do it instinctively. And that thing is, we walk in the shade. Under trees, under overhangs. You park your car, try to be close to the entrance, and stay out of the sun as much as you can. Wear sunscreen as much as you can. I got freckles because I'm Ukrainian. You think I don't stare at those every year, making sure they're symmetrical, not raised, and just freckles? I don't know how bad you think it can get, but it can get really bad. And sunburn is a you know what, and you don't want to get the big C. All right, so what about the AICE Lite? Is this something that I recommend? And stay tuned after the recommendation for a secret, somewhat morbid bonus fact, but secrets that Vegas locals won't tell you about living here in the heat. Yeah, I'd say that this is actually a recommended product. Now, yeah, they sent it to me for free, but I think for what it's worth, I get distracted on camera easily with all the noises around me. I think for what it's worth, the device works really, really well. It does exactly what it's promised. It has a good endurance. It has large cooling pads on the device. It has very cold temperatures. It's easy to control from the smartphone app. You can cool yourself rapidly and it's relatively quiet. And there's a lot of different use case scenarios for this, not to mention that it also heats you up. So if you like these kinds of things and you think it'll help you out, it would help me out by you going down, clicking on the first comment or in the more info box and ordering one. It's actually the best of the best that I've used, way better than those cheapo brands that you get from some pharmacy somewhere, and worth every penny to keep me cool. And I know I'll be using it throughout the year on my live streams. So there you have it. But there's one more morbid thing about Vegas that I want to close the video out on. It's not a fun thing, so viewer discretion is advised right now, okay? So ultimately, there is one more morbid thing that Vegas locals won't tell you. And that is the fact that if you live out here for more than a few years, you're likely going to have encountered somebody who has battled skin cancer. Remember I was telling you about wearing sunscreen? It really does matter. Yeah, I've met more than 3 or 4 people, I believe, that have successfully battled and won against cancer of the skin, and that's where, you know, your freckle isn't a freckle anymore, and you got to go to a dermatologist, and they cut that out, and they do a bunch of scans to see if it's spread throughout your body. So that's a morbid one. I know to close out the video like that, but I'm always going to keep it real with you out here. That's the thing about this channel. I'm a Vegas channel that doesn't pull any punches, and I want to tell you guys the truth about what's actually happening and what's actually going on. So once again, thank you so much to Ranvoo for sending me this out, and the AICE Lite for sending me the neck band so I could try it out on the strip and show you guys some secrets from Vegas locals about the heat here in town. If you guys want to check this product out, click on the link in the show more box or in the first pinned comment of this video. If you guys want to support the channel, be sure to subscribe us, be sure to like us, be sure to share the video as we've walked from Bellagio all in a big circle out here to Caesar's Palace to expose the secrets of what it's like to live here. My name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. Now it's time for the video where I say 3, 2, 1, click. Are you ready? Well, 3, 2, 1, and click.